Hello, and welcome to Puzzlers Anonymous. My name is Kevin, and I'm a puzzle addict. We got another Thursday Puzzle Club for you. Recording this on Monday. You don't need to know that, but just updating you on my life, what's happening. Gina got a new job. Very exciting. I'm not going to tell you where it is because this is the internet, but she actually got the tentative offer a while ago. Like weeks ago, and it's with an organization that does extensive background checks, so we've known it, and we've even told some people because it was such a done deal. She's not gonna fail a background check. She's squeaky clean, but now it's official, which is very exciting. I'm very happy for her. It's better pay, better bennies, better schedule, and she works hard and is really good at what she does. So excited that she's getting recognized, and I think it'll be a good new opportunity. So when she gets home, we are going to the Muskie here in Madison, which I've been to before, but she hasn't. We like to celebrate any special occasion, by going out. And a lot of times we do, we wanted to do something fancy. We went to Gray's a few weekends ago, which, if you don't know, it is a James Beard award-winning chef, and that was for to celebrate a few things, some birthdays, some anniversaries. We kind of got off the ball with doing our fancy birthday celebrations, but for this one, for getting the new job, she was like, I just want to go somewhere with beer and pizza. So Muskie's it's like an elevated dive bar. It's a newer place with cool decor, but taking in the vibe of a Midwest Northwoods dive bar. They have cocktails on tap, which I like, just pre-made. I also like going to a fancy cocktail place where they make it all, but I love where it's just oh, here's an old fashioned. It's not gonna take 5 minutes to get your drink. So yeah, that's cool. Excited for her, excited for the occasion. Other things going on, we did occasionally, Gina and I like to do the Sunday crossword together. I do it on my phone, but we project it on the TV. And last night we did that. It had been a while, but we did the Sunday crossword. As I was doing this, as I was solving the puzzle, Juniper was cuddling with me. And she does this thing when she's cuddling. She'll do it only when you're laying down on your back. And she sits on your upper chest. So her face is just in your face, inches away. Which is cute as long as she doesn't clean your face, which she does like to do. That's also cute. It's just being licked by a cat on your face. My cat's breath smells like cat food. Not great. But she was resting on my chest, doing her thing, and then one of the clues was group that sings Fernando or something like that. So I put in ABBA, and then I started singing the song. And I don't know if it startled her. It was definitely probably a little loud for her being right in my face. But I started singing the chorus of Fernando by ABBA. And this cat slapped me in the face. I was singing and she just went, pa. No claws, which is good. She is not declawed. She has claws, but they're retractable. So it's she wasn't trying to scratch me. She kept her claws, retracted and just open slap with her paw. I should discourage this behavior, but it was so funny that she did that. And in her defense, it was probably pretty loud and startling right in her face to have me start belting Fernando. The only other update is my buddy Lee told me that he watched my previous video, and then when he does crosswords, but he doesn't do a lot of Thursdays because they're pretty tricky for him. But when he was when I was struggling with the theme, he was looking at it, he was I think I got this. That Lee just figured out the theme. So he paused the video and went and solved the crossword on his own before coming back to finish my video. And I love that because that's what I've always done with cracking the cryptic, and that's how I got better at Sudoku. Is these really complicated ones, I can't do them, but I'll watch Mark and Simon do them, and then I'll be ooh, I think I know the next step, and I'll do it, And then when I get stuck again, I'll like unpause the video and, watch Mark and Simon's thing until they get just the next clue. And that works better with the Sudokus because there really is an order to solve them in, which is not the case with the crosswords. But I was honored that I was able to be the Mark or Simon for someone else. So that was cool. I also have the Midi puzzle here. Anyone who knows the Times puzzles saw they added a Midi just like last week. So that's kind of neat. They've always had the Mini and the Maxi. So I thought it'd be fun to do one. I don't really have an idea yet of if they're following difficulty levels. I did the Wednesday before Thursday Puzzle Club. I thought I'd do last week's Thursday. So let's do this. I'm not trying to speed run it, but I also don't want to spend a lot of time on this, so I'm not going to over explain the clues. So here we go. Raising hand out with safety pins. Actually, no, I do know that. That's a bib. Title that completes the classic palindrome. Well, let's just reconstruct it from writing it back. Yeah, Madam, I'm Adam. Cool. Gene regulating molecule. It's either DNA or RNA. I think it's R. Got up, arose. Common charger port type USB. I'll pause. I'm not speed running, but I want to pause. Gina is like so confused by USB. I have a newer phone that has the USB-C port, and she has the Lightning port. And I have helped her navigate with the cords, just as she's moved in and figuring out the stuff. But like, I've explained to her like USB and like, which is sometimes called USB 2 versus USB-C versus the Lightning port, and like it's like I'm speaking Greek. She can't get the USB thing, which is fine because like going forward everything's gonna be USB-C and you don't even have to know anymore. But yeah, it's been a struggle. Not a struggle, whatever. Off smoked cheese. That's a Gouda. Portmanteau genre for Bond and Bourne films. I hate portmanteaus. This is something with spy stuff. Is it spy-fi? Like sci-fi, spy-fi? I'm going to leave it blank for now. Bon voyage. Sprinklers attachment. Hose? Probably. Really arguing. I think at it. That works with all the downs. Sister company of the wellness brand Hims. Appropriately hers. Big Brother genre. Reality TV? Yeah. Unit of soap. Probably a bar. Dessert with a streusel topping. I don't know. Peeve. A knit? No. 29 looks like it's going to be RBI. I think this is irk. I think it's the verb form. Says hello on the road, maybe? Honks? I don't know. Tool for a painter. Brush. Creative source in modern parlance. Inspo. Baby shark. The gift to the magi. Touches feel. Spy-fi was right. Cool. Astro. Hey, spring training is back. That's cool. Like billionaires of cheesecake. That's rich. Yang's counterpart. This came up in yesterday's Sunday crossword. Disproven click is Tisk. That was also in the Sunday crossword. And number 2 execs RVPs. So what was this theme of rainbow sprinkles? Oh, Roy G. Biv. That's fun. I'm not thinking that these middies are sorted by difficulty. I don't know. Let me look at a Saturday real quick. This looks a little lengthier than the other one. I don't think so. Bro. I'm going to just go faster and see how this goes. In terms of like difficulty. I should know that one. That's pesto. I got some in the fridge. I feel like I have enough information already going to this to know. Yeah, I don't think the Saturday is harder than the Wednesday. So I think the middies just kind of throwing them out there and not doing the normal progression. All right, let's get into our actual Thursday Puzzle Club. This looks like a themeless, which would be very rare on a Thursday. There's not obviously long ones, which is why I would think that it's themeless, but just peeking at the clues here, I am seeing a few in italics, and I'm seeing one that is very obviously a revealer. So it is not a themeless, it's just a themeless looking ass grid. But I will use the italics to identify it. 250,000 sheets. No idea. Collectively, the reigns of all English monarchs named George. I don't know. Skipping the revealer for now. Superhuman strength, mind reading, invisibility, and 4 dozen other powers. Interesting that it has a number. 48, 9, 51 powers. The only thing I can think of with 51 is 51 flavors of Baskin Robbins. That's a unit. I don't know what it's shortened to. How many Georges were there? I feel like I know there was at least 8 Henrys. And then this is this something that's wrong with the website? I'm going to open this up just on the app just to see if those are actually supposed to be squares or if that's an error. Usually they have a note. Yeah, there's nothing there. Okay. Thursday. What is that? 65. No, it's squares on the app too. I wonder if this will show up at all. Okay. So that's weird because that doesn't really have to do with a number, or does it? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is more squares that are in the clue. So yeah, it's going to be something with numbers. Let's look at this. System in which XL is smaller than L, or hint to interpreting the answers to the italicized clues. Well, this is going to be Roman numerals. Boom. So then that makes more sense. So our 51 is going to be LI, right? I only know L because of the Super Bowl numbers. It's weird that they have a specific one for L. I guess that makes some sense for in that center section. Like if you did like 5 X's, that would be confusing. But yeah. LI something. So it says powers in there, so it's not going to be super powers. Abilities. Traits. Okay. 250,000. I don't actually know this. Like, 1,000 is M. But there's gonna, like... So how would you do 100,000? You wouldn't do 100 M's. There's got to be a bigger number, or a letter for a bigger number for 100,000, and another one for 50,000. I might need to initiate the solve protocol just to get this one clue, because that goes beyond my knowledge of Roman numerals. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be like 8 or 9 or whatever, so it's going to be, if it's 8, it's VIII. If it's 9, it's IX. And this one, no fucking clue. Except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 10. So it's like 10 squares. X squared wouldn't even work. But yeah, let's start up with this one. Shots informally. Shots. Everybody. I don't know. Toss up. Don't know. 1 south of the border is going to be uno. We're cooking. We got letters. Grand. Gosh, could be so many things. Curse these Thursday puzzles. Dirtbag. I want to say skis. That was the first thing that came to me. I don't think that's what it is, but yeah. Parts of knaves. That's like a church thing. You got your apse, not to be confused with an asp, which came up in the Sunday crossword yesterday. Apse, A-P-S-E. Let me turn the light on just because it's getting dark here. But like, yeah, knave is another part, but I don't actually know what makes up a knave. Do we got anything of the like? Do we got anything off of this? Like cats and dogs. Ooh, this could have to do with rain. charge in a way. Ionize, maybe. Yeah. That's something. Does that give us anything else? Shots, toss up. Ooh. Oh my god. If skis works, I'm going to be so psyched. I don't know how you spell that. Is this... I bet it's not skis. I bet it's sleaze. This probably ends with an S. Oh! I got it. I don't know if this counts for figuring out the theme. I feel like I kind of actually knew the theme already, and I just needed an example. So there's 10 squares. So this is X boxes. There's X10 boxes. Yeah. Still don't know that one. I feel like it's going to be Vax, and Ionize is wrong. Toss up is probably Lob. Seems weird. This is Grand Prix. Okay, cats and dogs is plural. So skis is with a. Oh, that still has the S. Are aisles parts of knaves? I want to say yes. Vexing is pesky. Did we just have No, we had peeve in the other one. Peeve was irk. Vexing is pesky. We got it. Okay. Superhuman strength, mind reading, invisibility, and 4 dozen other powers. And so this is going to be... This is 51, so it's Li. So I think it is sleaze. Li... And then, like, superhero abilities. But that's going to make another phrase. I want it to be, like, life. Yeah, I just think I need more of these. Animal in some traditional Tibetan races. Well, it's either going to be elk or yak. And I feel like yak is more likely to be in Tibet. I feel like that's a mountain animal. Dag nabbit. Don't know. Salon job. Infirmally. Manny. Not to be confused with a petty. Do I need a Manny? No. Clipped my nails recently. And then Gina got mad at me for having the... Not mad at me, but having... I didn't get all of them off the counter. And she politely suggested that it was time to clean the bathroom. Assessment informally is exam. That was not sarcastic either. She did suggest it politely. This is not like... This is not me being like, oh, she's so kind to me, but actually... No, like, she's actually really nice. This is the joke. She does not, like, get mean about that stuff. She's actually a really great roommate, and it's been just a delight sharing a space with her. And, yeah. She asked me in an appropriate, kind way to fucking clean the bathroom sink. Side dish eaten with curry. That's going to be rice. Always making a curry, this guy. Questionable in slang is sus. I don't think that's slang anymore, Will. But that's fine. You're old. Patronize as an Airbnb. I don't know why I touched my hat when I called Will Shorts old, but I did. The other day, I was wearing a dad style hat. Not the flat brim, but the one with the curved one. And I referred to it as dad style. And Gina found that delightful, but I did not make that up. That's like if you go to buy a hat now and you want the brim like that with the curved brim, it's called like a dad hat. Patronize as an Airbnb. I think that's going to be stay at. Okay, I got to be able to get this. Something's wrong here, right? Did I do my math wrong? No. 4 dozen is 48, and then there's another 3 on top of that. So it is 51, which is Li. This is a superhero thing, which is the next one up. Is that Natasha? Okay, so we need a different side dish for the curry. I feel like it is rice. I don't know. Maybe it's a different Russian name. I don't actually know much about the Black Widow. Like a fish out of water. I don't know. Mercury's a mythological counterpart. I was talking about this recently. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get a prop. All right, we're back. I have my prop, which is a thermostat. I recently replaced my thermostat. I had this old thermostat, which is original to my house, I believe. My house is from the 40s and is heated by a boiler. And I believe this is the original thermostat. And the reason I was talking about mercury is this is a mercury thermostat. I think a lot of people know that thermometers used to use mercury. I really hope this is focused on the camera. But yeah, there's this little duty in here that has the mercury in there. It's safe, it's vacuum sealed and all that. But yeah, it's really cool. It's like, you know, as it gets bigger, it expands and then like tilts the thing, which activates the thermostat. So I have this. I haven't disposed of it yet because I don't know how to safely dispose of mercury. And it is fun to play with as long as you keep it safely in the tube, which is what I'm doing. But then I was just like reading about that and talking to Gina about it. She wasn't super familiar with mercury. And then I got curious about why is the name of the element the same as the name of the planet or the name of the god? Is that just because like it moves quick and, you know, Mercury is like the fast god, which I was like, is the planet named that because he's the fast one? And it went down this whole rabbit hole. So what I found out is, you know, back in the day they had the 7 celestial bodies that weren't Earth. Because they only knew about 5 of the other planets because Uranus and Neptune can only be seen with a telescope and Pluto's not a planet. So the 7 celestial bodies were the 5 planets they knew about, and then the sun and the moon. That's where our 7 days are based off of. And then also like a lot of the gods are related to the planets because, you know, even back in the day, even before people actually knew there were planets, people saw that they moved in the sky differently from stars, so they knew they were significant, and they named them after that. But yeah, the fastest moving one was Mercury, which was the fast one. Then I found out in medieval alchemy times, they only knew of 7 metals. So they were like, there's 7 special celestial bodies, and there's 7 metals. This means something. So then they connected them all together. Each one had a connection. So Mercury, the metal they knew of, got connected to Mercury, the planet. Though at the time they didn't call it Mercury. Quicksilver, which is like the nickname that we use for Mercury, was the name for it before this. Just, you know, it's like it comes from like the Greek word for it just translates to quicksilver because, you know, it's silver and it, you know, it's the only metal that's liquid at room temperature. And then, yeah, I think like copper went to the sun, or gold was the sun because it's like bright yellow. Iron was Mars because it was red, whatever. But like all of these had names before, but at whatever point they decided that Quicksilver was kind of a stupid name. So they just kept calling the metal Mercury. All of the other ones kept their original names before they were assigned by planets. But I found that just fascinating. And hopefully you do too. It was fascinating enough to me to pause the solve and ensure that this is going to be a 48-minute video. But anyways, mythological counterpart, I'm thinking this is going to be not like a friend of Mercury, but the other name for Mercury, which is Hermes. Half blank, subpar in slang. Don't know. Yeah, I feel like this just has to be Natasha, right? I'm taking this out. Yeah, because this is stomping at the Savoy, so maybe exam's wrong. Well, whatever. Savoy, yeah, then I don't know about with this side dish with curry. I don't eat curry side dishes. I just eat curry. Eval is the assessment. I think roti is a thing. Okay, yeah. Oh, duh. It's liabilities. Okay, we got this. I'm calling it. I know the theme. This guy just figured out the theme. Yeah. Boom. And now let's solve the other ones. So, gosh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need to know how many Georges there are before I can solve this. Or maybe not. Okay, so let's say if it's 9, it's IX. If it's 8, it's VIII. So let's disregard that and start here. And we're going to be looking for a word for kings. I already think I want it to be regents. But also, now that I'm thinking about it, this has to be a word. So it's not going to be VIII because, come on. That's not. I almost feel like there's only 6 Georges. Because I think VI is a much more likely start to this than IX. There's not many words or phrases that starts with ix. Unless you're doing like pig's Latin, ixnay. Yeah, I'm going to say there's only 6 Georges. I have declared that there are only 6 Georges. Yeah, regent is not it. Kings are obviously not going to be that unless there's something else that could go like it's Viking. But then what's the second part? English monarch's name's George. Viking. Is it just ships? Kingships? Yeah, because it's not talking about the king. It's talking about the reign. So yeah, it's 6 kingships. Nice. I'm proud of myself for sorting that out. Now, this is going to be tricky because I just don't know. But let's say this. Ooh, no. I was going to say there's a letter for 2. Or no, there's a letter for 100,000. And there's a letter for 50,000. So let's just say it's B and S. So it'd be like BBS and then something else. But now I'm thinking, is there a letter for a 250,000? Is there a letter for 1,000,000? What do we know about Roman numerals? 1 is I. 5 is V. X is 10. L is 50. C is 100. D is 500. I only know that because Ford Madison FC, my favorite, they're on their crest it has DCVIII, which is the Roman numeral for 608, which is the area code for the Madison area, which is not how area codes work. It's not 608, it's just 608, but I don't care because it's cool. So I know from that D is 500. M is 1,000, like millennium. But yeah, that's where it caps out. So I don't know what other letters it could be for 250,000, but I kind of want to assume it's a single letter. And I want to assume that sheets is pages. Just because of like the number of letters. It's going to be like a single letter and pages, I think. Because peaceful state, yeah, I don't think any of this is right. So well, Cambridge Schools is probably MIT. So this brings me around to another idea I had. Because first when I saw sheets, I should have said this out loud, but I was thinking reams. That is a unit of paper. Like if you buy paper, like the package that you get of printer paper is a ream. And there's a set number of sheets in that. So, what if it's that? What if it's, then it would be like a single letter here. So it's either creams or dreams. If it's creams, oh, don't make me do math. We can do this. 250,000 divided by 100 would be 2,500 sheets times 100. It would be creams. I just got some pop-up. I think that was a halfway. If it's dreams, 2,500 divided by 5 is... So then a ream is just 500 pages. That seems more realistic to me. That's 500 pages versus 2,500 pages. Don't let your reams be dreams. I got to remember to delete one across because otherwise I'm going to get very confused about that. What is... I want wilted to be like drooped. We don't have the right letters there. Make some alterations is probably edit. At a minimum. Get is probably C. Does this get us anything for this? Accessory for SpongeBob SquarePants. Is that a bow tie? Does he wear a bow tie? No, because then look at that. What kind of tie does he wear? I don't know. Laudanum. That's an opiate. I only know that because of a Decemberist song. The Legionnaire's Lament. He talks about pinched doses of laudanum. Well, could be wrong. Asa, I just don't know what SpongeBob's thinking, but I do feel like that's edit there. Peaceful state is repose. He thought he was unattractive because he had never seen his own face in repose. It's a quote from The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. Maybe I don't have it on the bookshelf. I don't know. Does SpongeBob wear a red tie? I don't know what SpongeBob looks like. Okay, so I wanted wilted to be drooped. It's droopy. Let's delete this. And now we're just bringing it on home. I should probably start solving faster too. Sudden attack. Don't know. Nicolas Cage film set on a plane. Con Air. Delightful. Amount measured in calories. It's going to be like energy, or is it intake? It might be intake. Workers to sing the opening number in Frozen. I don't know. Oh, I haven't seen the movie, but I know it's Icemen. The people who used to bring the blocks of ice. What a cool profession. I wish that were me. Queen of the Pride Lands is Nala. Speaking of kids' movies, friendly look is probably a grin. Ending of 7 country names, I'm going to say Stan. So then Walt Disney's middle name is Elias. I'll have to believe you, but this is our whole kids movie section. I'm pointing at the section of the grid. You can't see that. This here. Yitzy Snow is into that. I didn't introduce this. Sorry, Yitzy. You have a cool name. And Snow relates to Iceman. Poke, probably... Ooh, is it ball or bowl? It's bowl. Because ball... Then I think you have to have an accent if it was like the Pokemans. The U.S. men's hockey game, the first intermission report, which is like the halftime report, was sponsored by not by Nintendo, by Pokemon. Not by like, oh, this new Pokemon game is coming out, or like by Nintendo or whatever. It was just sponsored by Pokemon. Like usually it's, like the halftime report brought to you by Toyota. It was brought to you by Pokemon. It was very strange. Dudes is probably bros. End of a proof. I don't know. Math. Science. Math. But grill informally is barbecue, so I'm actually realizing it's QED, isn't it? Yeah. Or maybe not. Like a plane informally. Twad. Let's look at this. It's not pretty is an eyesore, so I think that's correct. Ba is probably phi. Happening is afoot. Sarah Connor, the Terminator's target in The Terminator. Also Joe Pera's girlfriend in Joe Pera Talks With You. Do I want that yet? Yeah, because I basically have all the themes. So let's just go from here. 8'4". There's like a word for that. Short piece of classical music. Concerta? Must be right. Long-tongued animal. Anteater. California MLB team on scoreboards. That's a trap. There's two of them, so it's either LAA, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, or LAD, Los Angeles Dodgers. We'll come back to you. Still don't know that one. The Cav? Bit of mining equipment. Ore cart. So this is salvo. And I don't know music despite having a degree in music. Ore cart. There we go. So this is intake. And that's Angels of Anaheim. Sonatina. That's right. I'm certain of it. He says, and I'll have to go back to do it. Oh, I see what they were doing here. I see what they were doing. We had 2 curry clues. This one's rice. Clever. Yitzy. I like what you're doing here. Roundish say. Is it just oval or is it like ovid? This is going to be I can say. So it's probably yeah, it's oval. Because then vibe with is gel with. Malarkey is jive, like that, and then I can say. So fancy footwork is a jig, bringing it home, like a fish out of water, as an example. I want it to be sane, but I don't know. Half-assed is subpar. Don't I know it? Dagnabbit. I don't know. Stall, as an example. Don't know. Loose as floorboards. Don't know. Oh my gosh. We had a whole nother themed clue here this whole time. I don't know what a chiliagon is, but I do know it's going to refer to the number of sides it has. What is the prefix chili mean? I have no idea. Well, this is... I know this actor. This is Anna. So... that doesn't make sense then. Because it's not sides. Because A is not a Roman numeral. But what other... there's facets. Vertices. Remind too often is probably nag, right? Wow, I was so confident we were bringing it home. Let's see, title for a certain union member. That's going to be Mrs. It's a marital union. Not sanded. Unnailed? That seems wrong. Yeah. No, I can't go up there. I gotta be here. Dagnabbit. Buy gum, right? Okay, so this is gonna be 1,000. Why would a chiliagon? Why would it be 1,000 instead of mil? Stall is gain time. Okay. You can stop right there. It's an in. Angles. So it's got 1,000 angles, and that makes it a chiliagon for mangles. Okay, so then, like fish out of water is simile, up to is till, so it was unnailed. That's a strange word, but I'll give it to you. Highland refusal. So this is Scotland. That's nay. organization that runs the L, that's the CTA, baby, in Chicago. My beloved Chicago Fire won on Saturday. I don't follow MLS closely. I'm very excited for USL 1 season to start because of my ultra beloved Ford Madison. But Chicago is my MLS team, and Apple TV has a new thing where you can just get all the MLS games. It used to be like another subscription on top. You'd have to have Apple TV and then have the MLS subscription. But now they're just free, and, if it's a Saturday and I got nothing to do, I'll watch the Fire, especially when they actually win for once. Alternative to a walk, I'm going to say it's sit. You can either sit or walk. 67.5 degrees on a compass is probably going to be northeast, but then this seems like it's going to be wrong. Okay, we still got more. So let's put the QED there. Yeah, I knew it would be an O'Crumbs. You got to tell me it's O'Crumbs. I know it's O'Crumbs. Yeah, maybe walk is wrong. Maybe this could be east-northeast also. Well, Conair is right. Intake I felt pretty good about. Nay, I feel good about. Yeah, because all those acrosses are right. There's nothing indicating that... Oh my God. Oh my God. This is in italics. This is a thieved clue. It's not. Okay. It's 100 inches. So cinches. Yeah. I'm not going to do the math to figure out if 100 inches is 8 feet and 4 inches. I'm going to trust it. I should be able to do that math on my own, because isn't one of them lines up to like a round number? Yeah. 5 feet is 60 inches. Whatever. I'm going to trust it, because then the alternative to a walk is hit. Back to baseball. Hopefully this gets it. Otherwise, we got to do some work down in this section with twad. Hey, that did it. I actually still want to look up what twad means. Is this an abbreviation? Like a plane informally. Twad. What does that mean? Okay, this is... No, that's War on Drugs. That's the band. Maybe Sam explains it. She does often talk about the tricky clues. Yeah, see, these are all the letters I had. There weren't any other ones. See? Okay. 2D. Thanks, Sam. You knew we'd be confused. I bet my audience knew it and was just laughing at me the whole time. I also want to look up a Chiliagon. I wonder if Sam would explain that as well. She's got the liabilities. Cinches, dreams. No explanation of Chiliagon. Was that? Yeah, because that was to Mangles. Yeah, we gotta look up Chiliagon. Chiliagon. In geometry, a Chiliagon. Oh, that's how you pronounce it, obviously. A polygon with 1,000 sides. Looks like a fucking circle, my guy. Oh, you gotta zoom way in. This is like, if you've ever seen a D100 in Dungeons and Dragons, it's basically just like a golf ball. It just has a bunch of little nubs on it. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. I guess that's like technically a die. But, you get enough sides and it's just, this looks like a circle. Apparently there's also a truck called a D100. Okie doke. I'm sure this video is long enough already, so I'm going to stop talking. Thanks for watching. Be safe.